Hey guys, it is um 7 a.m. and today I am going in for surgery. Some of you may know that for the last nearly 4 years I have been suffering with jaw issues. Long story short, I dislocated my jaw and then have slipped discs on both sides, which has been wearing away and making my jaw spasm. It's been incredibly painful, incredibly it's been quite debilitating, and honestly quite mentally draining. So the operation I'm going in for today is not that. I don't really think it's that dangerous. I mean, all surgeries come with um, a risk, but basically this is a joint flush. So they'll go into my jaw, um, flush all the crap they can find out, and try and put everything back. Um, and hopefully it works. So I'm going to try and vlog as much as I can today. I may or may not vlog after the operation. I may or may not be able to speak after the operation, to be honest. Um, let's see how this goes. Hey all, um, I'm dressed downstairs. I've shaved. I've semi done my hair. Got all my stuff ready to go to the hospital, and I don't have to leave until I think like 10:30, but I could only eat up until 7 a.m. So when I shot that video, it wasn't actually 7 a.m. It was like 1:45, so I could still have some breakfast. Um, so I thought I'd come down here and get a little bit more work done before before I have to go. And I just realised it looks like I haven't shaved like a line, but the way the hairs were going. So yeah, I thought I'd come down here, get some work done, catch up on the news. But let's see how this day goes. And we're out. I am out of the hospital. I'm in the car, waiting to go home. And it was a lot. Took longer than I expected, considering how quote unquote simple the procedure was. Hey guys, so it is. Let me have a look. 10 p.m. As soon as as soon as I got in the car, I practically fell asleep for the hour drive back. For obvious reasons, I still had a lot of what are they called? Anesthetic. There you go. I still had a fair amount of anesthetic in my system. So I got back home thinking that I could just sit in my office and watch a few YouTube videos. No, I think I lasted about 10 minutes. I came back upstairs. That was about 4 o'clock, and I've been asleep since then. Um, I don't feel great. Uh, I was told there is a possibility I will feel worse for a couple of days. Um, uh, and I'm probably sure that's gonna be me. I always tend to be on the worst luck side of things. Um, so, yeah, I'm going to put you on a stand and I can tell you what I had done. And we're back. Sorry, the lighting is not ideal. I might try and. Uh, if I do. How's that? That's looking a fair bit better. So, what I had done is there is a plaster here. So, I had what they call in simple terms, is a joint flush in my temporomandibular joint on my left side. So, when everything happened almost 4 years ago now, I basically dislocated, and I think they think I also fractured a part of my jaw now, which is nice. That would have been nice to know sooner rather than later. And when it dislocated, it never reseated properly. And because of that, it kept going in and out, in and out, in and out, putting a crap load of strain on all the ligaments in the jaw, making them tighter and tighter, and the disc in between the plates of your jaw just kind of slips out. When I went for an MRI, the specialist said that he hadn't seen a case of it this bad in years. Like he's talking decades. Which again, I don't do things by halves apparently. And he agreed that doing this straight away before even trying the Botox, which was another option, he said that would be the better choice. So the Botox would have been to inject Botox deep into the jaw line, into those ligaments, to kind of numb them, and hope that it lasts long enough that it reduces the strain on. Hope that it reduces the strain on the muscles long enough that it can kind of reseat itself. And the guy said, like, look, you could do it if you want. It's quickest, easiest option. We can do it in 10-15 minutes. But I would skip it and go do the joint flush first. And at this point, if he had said the only option is for us to slice your jaw open, manually put the disc back in and wire it shut, I would also have said yes, because I really don't like being in constant pain every day, especially that face pain is weird, because everything in your face is kind of connected to something else. So having pain in my jaw also hurts my mouth, obviously. It also hurts my ears. Not just my outer ear though. It changes the shape of your inner ear. So I've not been able to use many in-ear headphones because the shape of my inner ear canal is changing so rapidly because of it, how loose it, or how out of shape it's been. It's not seated in a regular. It's not like this. It could also be like this, or like this. Like it's changing, which makes it quite painful to use in-ear headphones. And then it also causes headaches and migraines because of the physical strain all the muscles are under. It almost basically forces a tension headache. So, if they had said that was my only option, I would have still taken it. But instead, they said we have this joint flush. It's something like 80-20. It'll work. 80 will work. 20 doesn't. I'm like, good enough odds for me. And then he said, and if it does work, it could only be for a few days, few weeks, maybe months, and if you're really lucky, a few years. And that's where it kind of got me a bit, because doing all this for so long, to then finally be offered a surgical option, to then be told it may only last a few days. Kind of annoying. 100% would still do it again in a heartbeat. But I should not have done that. Oh. Ooh. So, what did I actually have done? I've been calling it a surgery this entire time, but it's more of a procedure. So, because of where they were doing it and what they were doing, I was completely out. I was under general anaesthetic. If you get a chance to, recommend it. It's great sleep. Apparently told my anaesthetist that see you on the other side, bro, which is funny because I don't think he spoke very good English. He spoke good English, but I don't think he got the reference. And yeah, great sleep. So I had a cannula in my hand. You can kind of see the starting of a bruise there. Having a really hard time finding a vein in either of my hands, which is apparently another thing I have is just, I don't know, is my blood pressure just low enough that even with a tourniquet, getting a vein to pop up is difficult. Like, I had a tourniquet on, and then the nurse was holding my wrist. I was like pumping my hand, and he was like actively slapping my hand to try and raise a vein, and they were still struggling. So yeah, once I was out, they put 2 needles in the side of my temporomandibular joint, or into my temporomandibular joint, I should say, and they forced saline solution, which is a sterile, basically saltwater solution, through the joint to clear out all the crap that has accumulated that my body has made trying to fix what is broken. So they cleaned out all the gunk in my jaw, and then they injected a steroid solution. And the steroid solution is It's basically for the same reasons that you'd get steroids injected in your wrists or your elbows or your shoulders or your knees. Um, it's unlike the Botox, which is like numbing it so the body can try and do it. This is like just jacking the body up so it can fix things, um, which I'm totally fine with. I've been taking steroids for years for multiple things, um, but now that I'm awake, the the weirdest sensation is moving your mouth, even tiny bits like I'm doing now. I'm not moving my face all that much. Um, the micro adjustments I'm doing with my face, with my jaw, I can feel the steroids or residual saline, I don't know, in here. And the only way I can describe it is when you have a bath and get a bit of water in your ear, or if you've got like a bit of Radox and there's some bubbles, and it gets in your ear, and then you can hear the surface tension, like you hear the bubbles pop in your ear. It's that, but inside your face. And it is still painful. They were right. It is more painful than it was before, but they said it's going to be for the first 2 days or so. But the interesting thing is, I was prepared to be on a liquid or a super soft food diet for a couple of weeks, for obvious reasons. But since I woke up in hospital, they said, so here's your sandwich and your ice cream. And I get the ice cream. Soft vanilla ice cream is amazing. Everyone should have it in hospital. Or if you are vegan or vegetarian, options for soft non-dairy items. But like the sandwich was strange because it's like, okay, bread is soft and the filling I had, tuna mayo, was soft, but then it came to try and eat the crust, and I had a really hard time like finding the pressure to clamp my jaw down on this crust of bread, and it was really soft bread, and they were like, we'd like you to eat as much as possible, and I'm like, all that is fucking left is that crust. So long story short, I was expecting to go for an all liquid diet, but they actually say after the first couple of days, when it all wears off, you should be able to start eating normally. I will take their word for it. But I tried to eat a packet of crisps when I got in. I got some Quavers, which are very, very soft, mostly air. Like a newborn could crush a Quaver in their hand, and even the motion of chewing that was quite painful. So I am going to go back to sleep, I think, and I will likely edit this tomorrow. Thank you for watching. This was my surgery vlog, I guess. Bye.